Hello and welcome to another update video about ICP. At the moment, still one of the more interesting coins. Let's see when the interest fades again. That happens from time to time with a lot of these coins. They are interesting for a while, then they enter a correction and nobody's interested anymore. For now, I think it's still fairly interesting, at least for most of you, and that's also why I obviously make the videos for you. Because obviously while we have to find a balance between coins that are somewhat moving in very reliable patterns, while we have to focus on these a lot, we also have to find a good balance between what's most interesting. That is always a little bit on and off, right? So always have to look at what's currently interesting. And yeah, anyway, so ICP has been requested by a lot of you. So we are dealing here with this, current correction, I think. I mean, the support area was communicated. First of all, the resistance area was communicated. It has been on the chart for a long time. The market or the price rallied into resistance and now is moving into support. The support area was communicated 2 or 3 videos ago. And I see it currently as a wave 4 for now in the white scenario, in the yellow one, in which we could form a 5-wave move up, but it needs to hold $6.95 for that. Sustained break below $6.95 means that I have to assume that this A wave already topped here, which is possible because an A wave can be a 3-wave move. So there will be 2 support areas basically. But let's first see if it's holding $6.95. Doesn't mean it has to go all the way down to $6.95. No, it means this is the support zone. We are already in the support zone, but an ideal target for the 4th wave is typically the 38.2 retracement level at $7.89. Problem with that is I don't have a very reliable micro count, which means that the way I measured it, it might be wrong. Okay, so obviously we're measuring it basically based on the length of the 3rd wave. But if I cannot accurately determine exactly where the 3rd wave started because of this messy price structure, then obviously the fib levels, just be aware. It's not, the chart doesn't offer great precision. It's not a Bitcoin chart, so there is much more messy stuff going on in the smaller time frames. And still 6.95 is support. Well, if we break below that level, what would be the critical bullish support level then? Well, first of all, I would probably pay attention to this trend line here. Let's adjust that a little bit. But there is a trend line that we can observe. That was also the breakout point here. And it might be around, $5, depending on when it is reached. So I would pay attention to that. Also, what we can do then, we would have to use the fibs for the lower support level. And we would then look at the area between 586 and 387. Basically, we've got 2 bullish support levels. Just be aware, I have to say it again, the chart is not so reliable due to the chart history. I know I see it every time in the comments. People say, okay, the chart has been manipulated, whatever. Okay, fine, whatever. Not so it's not so important, why that happened. What's important is the chart as it is doesn't really give us very clear or reliable parameters. Yeah, there were a couple of people who said, TA isn't really applicable here because of this and that and that. Okay, so, well, what does it mean TA isn't applicable? What does that even mean? Of course, I can use TA to get reward and risk parameters. They are just not so reliable on this chart. But in the end, to a degree, it confirms what you say. And I don't deny that. I've always said this is not the best chart for technical analysis. It's also not the clearest chart. Certainly not clearly bullish. Or if it is, I cannot see it on the chart. Okay, it would need to prove it first, which means when I'm trading something, I would focus on charts that are in a long-term uptrend or things like that. If I want a reliable chart. Now, if I don't care about that, okay, then fair enough. But then you wouldn't need TA. Okay, so I obviously do this mainly because a lot of channel members have asked for ICP videos. Otherwise, it's not a chart that I would just analyze because I think it's a great chart to analyze. It's just important to understand also in terms of the risk, because if you use these levels here in the analysis, they might not be super accurate on this chart. Okay, and I mean as the chart develops off the recent lows, okay, and maybe puts in a few higher lows, a few higher highs, yeah, then we get better parameters, more data to work with. And that's exactly what we need, right? So just be aware of all of that. When I look at the ICP chart here, many people will not tell you that, but it is what it is, especially if you try an Elliott wave analysis on it. I mean, any analysis really, okay? With this chart, you will struggle to do any TA because you have to base it on a recent low. Now, there is no way to project all-time high targets or anything because it's a lifetime downtrend. It first needs to show us that it can really move in an uptrend. So it takes a bit of time, right? So until then, we just have to accept that the parameters are a little bit unclear. Nevertheless, we're moving down here currently. And at the moment, I'm tracking primarily this fourth wave because the support area here is currently being tested first. And I'm watching the levels that I indicated. The move down looks corrective. Okay, it looks corrective. That means we have a bit of an overlap, you know. And I think I mentioned in the last video already a target for the C wave, because what we did, we took the length of the A wave, we measured the from the high of the B wave to compare with the length of the C wave. And a typical target is the 100% extension. Pretty sure I gave you that level in the last video here, around 838. Wasn't quite reached, yeah, but came very close. But ideally, I would like to have it reached. Either 838 or here 789 would be sort of the next downside levels to watch. As soon as we break out of the corrective price channel to the upside, that would be good indication that a low has formed. The wave 4 is complete. That's my update about ICP. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.